What is going on, community? It is great to be back here with you, keeping up with the comics. So we are going to just jump right into it. The first book I want to keep up with today is Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 3, written by Tom Taylor, with art by Bruce Timm's. I think it's Bruce Timm's. I'm not wholly sure. I'm still getting used to trying to keep up with the artist along with the writers. That's a goal of mine, if you can say. But starting out with Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 3, we get a father and son team up basically with Clark and John and this building falling. Clark basically has to stop the building from falling. John saves the people inside and their pets, as he lets it be known. And we find out later on that there is a young lady at the center of all of this mayhem. But she is not the villain that you would think you'd find in a book where a building's being knocked down with families and pets in them, and that kind of makes the story a little bit more complex. And she's also in the middle of what the story is. So we found out that I think in issue number 2 that some refugees from another country, I think the country is named Gamora, were trying to get to the U.S. And John Kent Superman helps out, brings them over here. But in bringing them over here, he's basically bringing in illegal immigrants, if you could say, and that starts a whole thing. I know that topic may rub some people the wrong way, but Tom Taylor's kind of taking his time to march over it, and we kind of follow up on that story with John Kent doing a thing that you wouldn't think he'd do. And I don't know if Clark has done this before, but he stepped up in a unique sort of fashion to kind of help these immigrants out, get some attention to the subject, and make waves. Later on in the comic, of course, we know from Action Comics that Clark is going to have to go to War World pretty soon, and deal with people. John has seen the future, riding alongside the Legion of Superheroes, and he thinks that Clark's story basically ends there, that he's never seen again. So John doesn't want Clark to go. Clark knows he has to. And so they have a touching moment, father and son. They kind of wrap up the story with the main bad guy, who is the ruler of this country of Gamora, kind of asserting himself again. I won't say exactly what he plans on doing, but I will give you a hint. If you look up the cover for Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 4, you can see what his plans are for John Kent Superman and his family. But that's kind of my non-spoilery review for Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 3. The next book I want to keep up with is Thor, issue number 17. Of course, we have this Miles Morales 10th anniversary cover, which is pretty cool. But what we get in this story is the finale to a 3-part story called Revelations. Now, I don't know how many real revelations we get in this book, but I did enjoy it. So the Revelations story itself is kind of bringing to a head the fact that Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, is really getting heavy on him because he is about to be, or actually is, king of Asgard, and he has to make up his mind whether he wants to be king whether he wants to be Asgard's hammer or Asgard's protector. That rift inside of him, I believe, is causing the issue with Mjolnir. But what we get here in this book is basically he and Odin meeting, but meeting under the I'm going to call it advisement of Freya and Odin's and Thor's sister Angela. But what is really funny is Freya came to talk to the family and came to kind of have words with Thor and Odin. Angela came to rip somebody a new one and kind of tell them, Odin and Thor, that they have to get their stuff together. Every time they have a rift, every time they have a rift, every time something goes wrong with the throne, it kind of ripples across not only Asgard, but the other 9 realms. And I think she's kind of right. So she comes and gives kind of the third degree to the boys. And then there's a heartfelt conversation between Freya and Thor. Of course, there are moans and groans and growls between Odin and Thor, because that feels like what I've seen from Odin and Thor maybe since the Jason Aaron run where I picked up Thor. And so that's kind of where we stand. It was basically a big family meeting, and then Thor gets a call at the end of the issue. Something that we should have seen coming happened, and I didn't see it coming until it happened. And Thor has a problem. We'll leave it at that. Thor has a problem, and in issue 18, he is going to seek the help of the Frog of Thunder, Throg. And so that is issue number 17. I wanted to leave you with that Throg thing so I can wet your whistle for issue number 18. But this is issue number 17. It was pretty. If you were digging the Revelations story, then it was a pretty good wrap up. Even though Revelations may not have been the best title, but it was a pretty good wrap up to the book. If you haven't been reading yet, you can jump on to issue 18. I'm pretty sure that starts a new story, and it's going to be interesting. So that was Keeping Up with the Comics. I hope you saw something you liked. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I feel like I'm a little rusty. I hadn't done this in a minute, but I'm getting back on the horse. I appreciate you sticking around. If you did see something you liked, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to keep up with me, Keeping Up with the Comics, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and always feel free to leave comments. But as we always do at this time, love yourself, love others, and I will be back in a flash.